Hey, it's Ren. Identifying a honey trap. Honey traps, or honeypots as they are sometimes called, are commonly used in romance scams, spiritual warfare, data collection, surveillance, and much more. A honey trap or a honeypot is a type of decoy that is used in romantic connections and friendships for the purpose that is not on the surface. They use a false lure and controlled environments to manipulate and even exploit the person targeted. Why? Because love and close connections are one of the easiest ways to infiltrate and access information. When the target is unaware, they can be used to steer you in a different direction. Honey traps are often sent in right before or right after a big breakthrough. They can completely throw you off track even at your highest points. In worst case scenarios, they can even lead all the way to a downward spiral. With love, there are so many variables such as trust, accessibility, and vulnerability, which makes honey traps one of the most effective tactics to use when trying to obtain something from the target. Here are some signs to look out for to identify a honey trap or a honey pot. If you have dealt with a honey trap, these may be signs you've experienced one. Number 1, they seem to know way more about you than they should. You might write it off as a spiritual connection or synchronicity, but something won't feel right. When you interact with them, something will feel cold, off, or even set up. It's almost like being an actor and entering a stage that has been set up just for you. When you're dealing with someone who is a honey trap, they are someone who knows a lot about you. This could be because of surveillance via mechanical or psychic. It's not uncommon that they will research as much information about you as they can and may have even been informed by those helping to orchestrate the honey trap if they're not working alone. The people behind the honey trap could be old exes, relatives, social circles, or even bigger organizations gathering information for a variety of reasons. The conversations with a honey trap will feel uncanny. You may feel like you've known them for your entire life, or like somehow they know everything about you. It may feel like they get you on a deeper level, but if you're dealing with a honey trap that uses advanced methods, things may become even more bizarre. Some honey traps have been trained into remote viewing, astral projection, dream infiltration, psychological manipulation, hypnosis, and much more. The esoteric, mystical, and elusive honey traps are the best ones used for delicate operations. The more a honey trap can capture your imagination, get you to question your reality, and most importantly, get you to trust them, the easier it is for them to execute what it is they are trying to do. Number 2, love bombing. All honey traps will love bomb you at the beginning. In some cases, they may even imply that you're their long lost friend or love, that you're the greatest person in the world and what they've always been searching for. If you are a person who is seeking a meaningful connection, this can be incredibly exhilarating. And it may make it seem like things are all starting to make sense. However, the most important thing to do when dealing with a honey trap is to pay attention to their actions. Their actions will almost never match their words or stories. Honey traps are masters of persuasion and may even make you start to feel guilty for questioning them. The key is to look at their actions and behaviors towards you. Almost all honey traps live double lives, and a lot of things won't make sense. Some even have fake identities. If you find it feels uncomfortable to ask them critical questions, say about their education, upbringing, or daily life, this is a good indicator you are picking up a crucial detail. The fact that they are concealing something which may reveal their true intentions. Number 3, honey traps will always try to get you to break your boundaries. This could be something as small as not kissing on the first day, or something as large as breaking the law. The reason for this is the more you break your boundaries for the honey trap, the more vulnerable you become. Depending on the type of honey trap you're dealing with, this may also give them information for blackmail. For example, a common scenario is a correctional officer at a prison who is asked by a honey trap to bring in a small amount of contraband. Contraband is something that they're not allowed to have. The correctional officer may bring in a small item such as a magazine or photograph, and even though it may seem harmless, the officer now has broken boundaries and has become vulnerable. And potentially this can be used for blackmail later on. In the same way, it's not uncommon honey traps will try to get something early against the person they are targeting. So be on the lookout for someone trying to get you to break your boundaries or get you to do something that feels uncomfortable early on. If it is a honey trap, they will imply that you're not cool, boring, or not intelligent for not doing what it is they want you to do. They may also indicate that if you don't do it, they will find someone else who will, or that they will replace you, or you'll risk losing the relationship with them. They may even try to little girl or little boy you, which implies that you're not in the know or you're not cut out for the better things in life. From an outsider's perspective, this may seem like an easy thing to identify, but when you're in the middle of it, this can cause extreme pressure and conflict. This is why it's best to stay aware and alert when dealing with new people or new friends. Also be open to seeing any red, pink, or purple flags as they present themselves. Number 4, honey traps will always triangulate. Your relationship or friendship will never just involve the two of you. There will be side characters such as exes, questionable friends, or outside things you may have to take part in to be with them. They may even make certain requests such as you needing to meet their friends or other observers before they can be in a relationship with you. They may also require you join a club or an organization. Even more commonly, they may have competing group or romantic interests that they will use to keep you in compliance. Simply put, if you say no to what they're asking, they will let you know that they are going to go with these other people or to these questionable locations. This is designed to get more leverage from you. Number 5, honey traps will ghost you suddenly and abruptly, then make a sudden reappearance into your life. This is oftentimes because they are taking care of other business, such as triangulating you or going back to the drawing board. In other cases, it could be because they are trying to regain control of the situation through causing instability. Number 6, another common trait of a honeypot is overconfidence and a grand disposition. They may even have the appearance of a very glamorous lifestyle. Oftentimes, they come off as rule breakers, maybe living on the outside, something that can be alluring and relatable. But in a honey trap situation, the real way that they are supporting themselves is oftentimes very different than what they are presenting to you. It is not uncommon honey traps belong to sophisticated and underground networks, and the truth is not on the surface. Everything from government networks, occult networks, spiritual circles, or exclusive clubs. However, in order to have everything play out smoothly, it is crucial they do not tell you directly or have any outward appearance of belonging to these groups at first. So now some questions. Do the honey traps or honeypots love you? The answer is yes and no. The answer to this can get complicated, but the bottom line is you have some honeypots that are very compartmentalized, and for them, these actions are more like performing a job. In other cases, you may have honey traps who begin to get attached, which leads to a sudden and abrupt departure. Regardless, I've never heard of a happy relationship which formed from a honey trap. If the person is willing to go against you early on, who isn't to say they won't go against you later when the stakes are much higher. Depending on the honey trap and the reasons they were used against you, they might even hold key information, data, or insight about you long after they are gone. This information can be sold or even used in deployment of future honey traps. There are types of honey traps including romance scams, identity theft, IP or informational intelligence, and even dark occult recruitment, which tends to start after the honey pot has exited. You'll also find that in almost all human transporting scenarios, a honey trap or honey pot is deployed at the beginning as a part of the setup. Ways you can recognize a honey trap. Checking their social media or digital footprint is not enough. It's important that you ask questions and don't try to force anything to fit if the answers are not adding up. For example, if they tell you that they're making a great salary but you notice they're never at work, this may be something that you may want to ask about. If they tell you an elaborate story about investments or special contracts, listen carefully because this may provide more clues as to what they are after. Pay attention to what parts of the world they frequently travel to and what these parts are known for. Also, run mental simulations. If you find that they're living in a mansion with a $6,000 rent, but the rent would normally be double that, maybe ask questions about it. If you find that they may be making money from certain fields where there have been a lot of economic ups and downs, such as real estate or certain investments, but you never hear them discussing market woes or problems, this could be another sign. What you don't want to have happen is everything makes sense, but it's after you're done dealing with them. If you're dealing with a true honeypot, you want to make sure that you deal with it accordingly before they're able to do what they are trying to do. Also, if you've dealt with a honey trap, you might want to take precautions such as backing up all correspondences, changing your password, telephone numbers, and even changing up your routine. Study deception and manipulation tactics, and most importantly, listen to your intuition. If you like this video, please give this video a like and have an awesome day. Bye-bye.